I ran into actor and singer Robert Davi in the halls of this convention in Cleveland. We talked about the showmanship on display throughout the week. Robert Davi, thank you so much for being with me.
Raymond Arroyo, it's wonderful to be here with you, my friend.
I want to talk about Donald Trump, the showman. If anybody is qualified to talk about this dimension of this campaign, we saw it the other night when he made his first appearance here. There was the white screen,
like
just
the Undertaker in the WWE. I was waiting for the chiming of those bong, bong.
We might hear it
that
yet.
was killed.
It's not over.
I love that. That was
what
great.
What did you
Very
make
theatrical.
of that moment? And is that what has distinguished him this campaign?
Well, you got to realize you had the JFK presidency that had that same kind of understanding of the media and culture. You had Reagan, who had the same kind of understanding of media of the culture. Now we're here, and those were, 60 and 40 years ago. Now we're here in 2016, dealing with video games and multimedia, social media, a whole different way of the youth looking at the world. And Donald Trump comes at this particular moment and absolutely slays the field in terms of his understanding of culture and media. Hence, that wonderful introduction that I may use that on my show.
And what are the issues that you think are driving the electorate at this moment? Why was he able to cut through all that competition and arrive here at this convention in Cleveland?
Well, I think that for the last decade or so, there's been both the left and the right has let the American people down. The first rumblings of the discontent was with Ross Perot. Remember? And he said NAFTA's you're going to hear the sucking sound of jobs leaving America. And for some reason, Ross Perot didn't have the stamina or the fortitude to stick out the media attacks. That's just on that level. But you have an immigrant population that's no longer assimilating in America since 1965. People understand this. People understand that you lose American values, the Judeo-Christian values, if a society does not assimilate. Us as Italian-American, our Italian-American immigrants came over from Italy, Sicily and Naples, my people came from. Yours?
Sicily.
Sicily.
Sicily, Naples. My
Sicily and
grandmother's
Naples, right. You told me that. And now we have, when they came, it was speak the English. They enlisted in the U.S. infantry. They raised the American flag. To be American was proud. You weren't victimized. You were taught to respect the country you're living in. It wasn't pressed for Sicilian and Napolitan. You know what I mean? We've lost that. So just on the immigrant side of it, you have this multiculturalism whereby we used to have e pluribus unum. We are now going to be Kosovo in 25 years. People, I think, inherently, those of us that remember a certain kind of America understand that. That's why the first speech that Obama gave, that riveting speech of, it's not a black America or a white America or a red America, there's one, resonated. Well, here, and he didn't unite us. He did not unite us. And you have to start with the immigrant population and hold accountability for illegal immigration. And then his jobs, the economy, trade. America first. So you have America, and I go around the world, as you do, and I know people want an exceptional America. They want a strong America, and we haven't had that. We have not had that.
Tell me, I want to shift a little bit and talk about this convention. There have not been a lot of celebrities, not too many people from your neighborhood in Hollywood showing up here, a handful of folks. Why do you think that is? And what are you hearing when you're back home? You have been outspokenly and early on a supporter of Donald Trump.
Yes, very early on. Yeah. Before I hit that, can I hit one other thing that I think is crucial, because this is a faith-based group that we're talking to, network. To me, when Donald Trump said, we have to say Merry Christmas again, I want Merry Christmas to be said again, he didn't talk about pro-life, pro-abortion. He talked about a cultural moment in America that was taken away. The pop culture of Merry Christmas. That's a battle we can win. We can win bringing Merry Christmas back to the public discourse, to say it's not season's greetings in school. Don't tell a kid he can't say that or wear a crucifix. That battle we can win, and we should be fighting that battle. So it was an off-the-cuff kind of comment, but to me it resonated in a very deep way. In answer to this other question, I find that you have in Hollywood, look at everything is pack mentality, a lot of it, and they're very intelligent, concerned, very sensitive people. I'm not going to denigrate that aspect of it. The worldview is just very different than what I have and how I seem to have that I've had, and some other people that I know have. I find that there are more below the line people that'll be going to me, the camera guys, the crew behind the camera. Hey man, I love what you just said. I'm with you. A lot of that. A lot of the other celebs will quietly say I'm there, but they make even you might think they're for the Democratic Party, but they're going to vote for Donald Trump quietly because it does hurt your career. You are stigmatized, and because all business is social.
Yeah.
If you're not going to a Hillary Clinton, God bless her soul, fundraiser that George Clooney is going to give, and you're not meeting 18 directors and showrunners, and they're not thinking about you. They just think of you as that guy that's on the periphery of who they are, and you're on the periphery of the business anyway. So there's a disconnect on that hurts.
Tell me about what you thought of this convention. There was not total unity here when this convention started. There are still holdouts, John Kasich and others, senators who are still saying, we should fight this. I can't support this candidate at all. You would say what to them?
I would say that they're being ridiculous and absurd right now. I don't appreciate that in the least. I think John Kasich is being selfish. He's being repugnant as far as I'm concerned, because at this point in time, if this is your city, if you can't come along and get on the help America here. I mean, Kasich is more, again, this is where the left and the right, I don't think it goes so much to, I think it's a globalist or America first. And I think some of that aspect might be there.
And you think this transcends any ideology or political affiliation?
In terms of what? Explain.
In terms of being either supporting this globalist mindset or an America First mindset, that can transcend parties. That's what we're saying.
Absolutely. That's why Donald Trump had so many independents coming, because people are waiting to hear that America First. And for, irrespective of the and look at, we all know, even in, let's say, I'll put this in Hollywood.
Okay.
A guy that never did a film, never made his bones, so to speak, okay? Or in the mob world.
Okay,
a mob
I'll
movie,
accept it.
All right? A guy that never made his bones. Here you have Donald Trump, who never made his political bones in their mind. And he comes in and he becomes the capo di tutti capi. All these other guys are gunning for him. It's a street fight.
Yeah.
And they're resentful. And they got their little crazy factions that refuse to acquiesce to what he's done. You know what I mean? And that's in the political game, because it's all the same. We're all in the same soup. You know what I mean? Chipino.
What are you looking for from Donald Trump at this convention? What does he have to say? What does he have to do, in your mind, to leave here victorious, achieving what he needed to achieve?
Right. Well, I think that's being done, I think, with Donald Jr. and Tiffany exposing the American people to a different side, because that's a great accomplishment with his children. And then you had people making the case, like the operatic Rudy Giuliani, who was a paisan who absolutely, was that aria was intense.
Yeah, operatic is a good word. Rudy was really.
He was.
Woo.
Yeah, he was wonderful. I mean, it was very theatrical, and then Christie, who was measured and tactical. Mike Pence, and then the policy. Everyone talks about the policy thing, and he's laid out the policies. You know what I mean? To me, he's laid out the policies. We want to build a wall. We're not going to do TPP.
The question is, how do you do those things? That's the question. Well, okay, you're going to build a wall. How? I know Mexico's going to pay for it. How are they going to pay for it?
Well, first off,
what's the mechanism for that?
Well, any mechanism for anything until you get there. You know what I mean? How do you get there? First, what's the mechanism to go to the moon? Ronald Reagan, I remember clearly how he was criticized when he said, I want to see a Star Wars defense. And I can see this, so any missile defense system. And they ridiculed and they laughed at him, and how are we going to get there? No, you have to have the vision first. But building the infrastructure of America, understanding the budgets, how to save money, he can do that. So this is, to me, it's again, that building of America, that mentality, that kind of individual that does that. That to me is really big.
Robert Davi, thank you for your words and for your insight and for being here. I'm just sorry we didn't hear Robert Davi filling this hall with song. That's what I expected, frankly.
Yeah, well, frankly, you know, I wanted to. I would have loved to. Especially last night, it was a sad moment for me. Exciting moment, but sad moment when the state I was born in put him over the top, and they started playing New York, New York, and there was no vocal to it. You know, and I'm going. All they would have had to say was, Robert, if New York puts him over, get up there and sing New York. I mean, anyway, I don't want to even get into that because it just, you know, hey. As a guy we both love, you know, that's life, man.
Yeah,
what the heck?
Exactly. Now, what's next? Tell me what's next.
Oh, well, I've got July 30th. I'll be at Foxwoods Casino in Connecticut. That's July 30th.
Wow.
Great performance. And then I'll be 3 nights at Feinstein's, 54 Below in New York, August 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Oh, well, I'm going to come see you
Will
there.
you?
I'm in New York.
Oh, good. 18th,
Great to
19th,
see you.
August.